the spy who sold nuclear secrets to Russia. The shocking story of Klaus Fuchs in the world of espionage. Some betrayals change history forever. One man, quiet, brilliant, and trusted, passed the deadliest secrets of the 20th century to the Soviet Union. He wasn't a soldier, he didn't carry a gun. He was a scientist. This is the shocking story of Klaus Fuchs, the physicist who gave the USSR the atomic bomb. How did he do it? Why did he betray the West? And how close did he bring the world to nuclear disaster? Stay tuned. This is a story of science, secrecy, and one of the greatest betrayals of the Cold War. Who was Klaus Fuchs? Klaus Fuchs was born in Germany in 1911, a brilliant student from a young age. He earned degrees in math and physics and quickly became known for his genius-level intellect. But Klaus was also political. As Hitler's Nazi regime rose to power, Fuchs, whose family opposed fascism, joined the Communist Party of Germany. When the Nazis cracked down, he fled to Britain in 1933, seeking asylum. In the UK, Fuchs completed his PhD and was later invited to join Britain's atomic research team during World War II. Soon, his skills would earn him a place on one of the most secretive and powerful scientific projects in history, the Manhattan Project. Inside the Manhattan Project in the early 1940s, Allied powers feared that Nazi Germany was building a nuclear bomb. The US, Britain, and Canada teamed up to create the Manhattan Project, a massive, top-secret effort to build the first atomic weapon. Fuchs was sent to Los Alamos, New Mexico, the heart of the project. He worked directly with physicists like Robert Oppenheimer and Richard Feynman, helping develop the theoretical foundations of the bomb. But what nobody knew was that Klaus Fuchs had already made contact with Soviet intelligence. Even as he was helping America build the bomb, he was secretly passing nuclear secrets to the USSR. What he gave away, he gave the Soviets everything. Fuchs didn't just pass notes. Technical blooper. INT's critical equations, information on plutonium bomb design, data from the Trinity test, the first successful nuclear explosion. He also described internal operations and who was working on what, providing the Soviets a blueprint for how to organize their own program. One Soviet general later said, "Without Fuchs, it would have taken us years longer." Thanks to his betrayal, the Soviet Union tested its first atomic bomb in 1949. Much earlier than Western leaders expected, the nuclear arms race had officially begun. Why did he do it? So, why did Fuchs betray the very nations that gave him refuge? He wasn't motivated by money. He received very little compensation from the KGB. Instead, Fuchs believed that no one country should have exclusive control over nuclear power. He feared a world where only the United States had nuclear weapons, and believed balancing the scales would prevent war. In his own words, "I had to help Russia because I believed they had the right to know what the Americans knew." To Fuchs, espionage was not treason. It was a kind of justice. But that idealism would come at a heavy price. How he was caught for years. Fuchs operated undetected. But after World War II, Western intelligence agencies began unraveling Soviet spy networks. Thanks to a secret U.S. code-breaking program called the Venona Project, decrypted Soviet cables began revealing the existence of a mole in the nuclear program. British and American agents narrowed the list. Eventually, suspicion fell on Klaus Fuchs. He was interrogated in 1950. At first, he denied everything. But soon, he cracked. Fuchs confessed in full, detailing how he met with Soviet handlers and passed critical data. The world was stunned. Trial, prison and release. In 1950, Fuchs was convicted of violating the Official Secrets Act and sentenced to 14 years in prison, the maximum penalty under British law at the time. He served only 9 years and was released in 1959 for good behavior. Upon release, he moved to East Germany, where he was welcomed as a hero. There, he resumed work as a nuclear scientist and became a member of East Germany's Academy of Sciences. He lived the rest of his life under the protection of the communist regime he had served, and died in 1988, just months before the Berlin Wall began to fall. The global impact Klaus Fuchs' espionage had historic consequences. Because of him, the Soviet Union gained nuclear parity with the US. Years earlier, the Cold War became a nuclear standoff. Fear of espionage intensified across the West. Counterintelligence operations were forever changed. Fuchs' actions also sparked one of the most famous spy cases in U.S. history, the Rosenbergs, who were accused of helping him deliver atomic secrets and were executed in 1953. He wasn't the only spy, but he was among the most effective in all of history. The story of Klaus Fuchs forces us to ask difficult questions. Is betrayal ever justified in the name of balance? Can idealism excuse treason? And in a world where knowledge is power, who really controls the future? Fuchs was a man torn between science and secrecy, loyalty and ideology, progress and peril. In his silence, he altered history. In his betrayal, he redrew the balance of world power. Call to action. Like this video if Cold War spy stories fascinate you. Subscribe to our channel for more real intelligence operations, double agents, and secret missions from around the world. Tap the bell so you never miss a classified upload. Question of the day. Do you think Klaus Fuchs was a traitor or a believer in balance? Comment below. We want to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and never stop questioning the stories that history tries to hide. See you in the next video with unique story.